is James Goglia. I'm here to give my information speech. I have an audience with me. Here's Aaron, here's Caitlin, and then Steven's recording. So sorry we couldn't get 5 people, but we don't really have any friends. So here we go. The informational speech that I will be giving is on an infection called dengue fever. Dengue fever is an infection caused by a virus which has 4 different types to it. The 4 different types all cause the same thing, but the structure of the proteins on the virus are just a little bit different. So it's all the same thing. And the virus family that causes dengue fever is called the Flaviviridae family, and it's the same virus family that causes West Nile virus, encephalitis, and yellow fever. Dengue fever is characterized as a arbovirus, meaning that it is transmitted by insects, and the insect that transmits dengue fever is the mosquito. And about 2.5 billion people around the world are susceptible to dengue fever every single year. So a lot of people don't know about it, but it's very prevalent. And the areas that it is prominent is like Central America, Northern South America, some parts of Africa and India. It's a lot along the equator and very moist areas, because that's where mosquitoes replicate. They can only produce offspring if they have an aqueous environment. And so a little bit about the mosquitoes. The type of mosquito that carries the dengue virus is called the Aedes mosquito, and there are 2 types of it, the Aedes aegypti and the Aedes albopictus. And more commonly carrying the virus is the Aedes aegypti, and only the female mosquitoes carry the virus and can infect people. Researchers and scientists haven't really figured out why the females only bite or carry the virus, but that is how it is. And once you contract the virus, it will infect your system, and you'll start to have symptoms. And the symptoms are very flu-like, so you get high fever, you'll get achy back pains, some like sinus pain in your eye. It doesn't seem like too much. You can kind of fight it by staying hydrated and very have a lot of good nutrients to help your body. But it can, in fact, proceed to a more severe state, and that state is called dengue hemorrhagic fever. Now, this happens after you've already had dengue fever for the first time and conquered it. Now, you can get dengue fever a second time from a different strain of the virus, and if this happens, dengue hemorrhagic fever can happen. And then at this point you can get severe abdominal pain, blood in your vomit, bloody nose frequently, bloody gums, and then you get like spotty rashes all over your body. So the reason for this happening is because you basically start bleeding from the inside out. Your capillaries become more permeable, meaning the blood can easily flow in and out of them. And if this happens and is untreated and not really paid attention to, it can very well be fatal. But unfortunately, there is no cure for it. It is a virus, and there is not a vaccine for it. Scientists and researchers are working on it right now, but there hasn't been much progress. So the only real way to stop it is to prevent it. And since there's no cure for it, the only way to prevent it is to not get bit by the mosquitoes. And the way you do this is to wear bug spray, like everybody tells you to when you go out in the woods. You wear long sleeves, long pants, cover up your skin so the mosquitoes can't get to you. You could even wear full mosquito suits, kind of look like the workers at the bumblebees who have the big mask and the big suit. And also at night you want to use a mosquito net so that they won't bite you at night. And then lastly, you don't want to create environments that the mosquitoes can reproduce. So in your backyard, if you live in an area that dengue fever is prevalent, you don't want to leave buckets of water just sitting out, because then the mosquitoes can reproduce and they'll be around your house and you'll be more likely to be bit. So you want to avoid things like that. So all in all, dengue fever is caused by a virus. It's spread by the Aedes mosquito, and the symptoms are flu-like, and if not treated or infected a second time, it could proceed to dengue hemorrhagic fever, which can be fatal. And the only real way to stop the disease is to be aware of it and have mosquito bite prevention. So wear bug spray, be aware of it now that you know of it. Hopefully you won't contract it, and you'll have a good trip down to Central America. So hope you like my speech. Have a good one.